just when you thought it was safe to go to sleep, some more Nintendo leaks ensued, and yeah, I really like this one and I stayed up because it's kind of interesting knowing how they handled the whole Ash situation and Ash kind of not being the main protagonist anymore, and how they handled it, to be honest with you, with a lot of grace. They handled Ash and the passing of the torch with a lot of grace, and like, this is a summary of a meeting that Nintendo had with two different higher ups and how they were going to handle the situation and what they were going to do and how they kind of wanted to respect the fans and not want it to be a debacle. And they kind of had to change and make Ash like kind of passing of the torch, and maybe one day he'll come back because the ratings were declining. Here's a summary with bullet points of what exactly happened in that meeting. Summary: the transition of Ash and Pikachu from the Pokemon anime, the PR strategy, and the concerns about timing and fan reaction. The team deliberates over how to present Ash's departure as a passing of a torch rather than an end. While ensuring that the Pokemon brand remains strong, there is a focus on how to delicately handle Ash's storyline and provide closure without overshadowing upcoming game releases like Titan. Ash and Pikachu's departure planned as a passing of the torch rather than an end to avoid negative fan reactions. Timing concerns: announcement and PR to begin in November, avoid overlapping with the launch of the game Titan, which is the new Pokemon game that's going to come out in the near future for the next generation of the Switch. Character transition: focus shift to develop new characters in the upcoming series. I cannot pronounce that, it's BRNE, with Ash's long-term development concluding. Defining Pokemon Master: discussion on clarifying what it means for Ash to become a Pokemon Master, emphasizing connection with Pokemon rather than just battle strength. Team Rocket storyline: additional episodes to evolve their story, ensuring it feels like a satisfying conclusion. PR strategy: careful global communication to ensure fans feel respected and valued. Message to fans: message to emphasize that Pokemon is more than just Ash. Fan reactions: acknowledgement of potential backlash, importance of thoughtful communication to avoid mishandling the transition. Creative challenges: balancing the creator's vision with fan expectations, ensuring the legacy of Pokemon continues while introducing new elements. New series development: incorporating a broader range of Pokemon and possibly dual leads to appeal to multiple generations. Global coordination: ensuring consistent messaging across all regions, avoid confusion or miscommunication. I think one of the funniest things about this entire meeting on how they were talking about IP control at one moment or another in this like 10-page meeting, like, and they were like, George Lucas had complete creative control of his intellectual property, and he kind of did what fans didn't want to do and had massive backlash. We don't want to be like George Lucas. And I'm like, man, leave George Lucas alone. The man's retired. He sold his IP. Like, can we stop? Just like leave that poor man alone. Jesus Christ. But it just goes to show here that Game Freak had really a good understanding of how they wanted to handle their IP. They understood that Pokemon isn't bringing in ratings like it used to. Let's just be real. Pokemon's ratings has been declining rapidly for like the past 4 or 5 years, and it's like not rapidly but steadily declining to where, yeah, you have to wrap up the story, and eventually like they're probably gonna make a movie with Ash, I wouldn't doubt, and they're gonna discuss like meeting his father and all this other stuff, because they did mention in the meeting that this isn't a definitive end, but more like a see you later. More than likely Pokemon is going to come back and they're going to show Ash again in some sort, either with a movie or with him coming back as one of like the Pokemon masters that the new protagonist will have to fight eventually. So like, yeah, it's not a goodbye, it's just a see you later, and it's probably just give Ash a break a little bit, because Ash has been like the face of Pokemon for the longest time, and Pikachu has also been the face of Pokemon for the longest time. Although that's going to be really hard to replace because Pikachu is freaking adorable, and I'm not sure if any other Pokemon can take that reign, but we shall see. They also had some movie leaks, which we're going to get into. So some more news has come out, since this is the section of the video that's going to be anything anime and anything to do with the anime. There is an anime planned, and we went over it. One of them is Codename Reload. This is an all-ages anime series co-produced with Twin Engine TE, a planning and production company affiliated with Studio Colorido, known for A Whisker Away. Episodes, 12 episodes, approximately 12 minutes per episode, over 1 year media. Streaming platforms, Netflix, Amazon Prime, etc., etc. Theatrical release in Japan simultaneously with the start of streaming. The 12 episodes will be split into 4 groups of 3 episodes each, with event screenings in theaters and a wide distribution across online platforms like Netflix and Amazon. Originally planned for release in 2023, unknown in its current status. So again, more than likely what Nintendo is doing is that they want to get this right, and this more than likely will coincide with the Project Titan that is going on with Pokemon behind the scenes, and they probably will simultaneously release this, but they do want to get this right, and they do want to kind of pass the torch of Ash to these new characters. And there's several other animes that are in production. This is just one of 3, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, and I'll add more to this video if there's more information to this Pokemon leak and this Game Freak leak, which more than likely there will. Like, again, what is Sleep? If you're a fan of Detective Pikachu and we're hoping for a sequel, well, fear not, they have been working on one since 2021. It is unclear if they were going to make a new trilogy or like a new sequel to this movie, but they did have some trilogies in the works. One of them was Game Boys, and it's aimed to dig deep into the theme of Pokemon, boundless potential, creating a story that highlights the importance of bonds, whether between friends or Pokemon themselves. Now with the sequel of Great Detective Pikachu, at first glance it may seem like a simple story, but showcasing unexpected situations such as moments when bonds are broken or how one overcomes trauma. It brings unique flavor. When one bond ends, a new bond is born. You may not know yet. And it sounds like more of a heartfelt story. I really hope that Nintendo follows through with making this trilogy, because I love Detective Pikachu, and Detective Pikachu made a crap load of money when a lot of people thought that it wasn't going to make that much money, but it did make a lot of money. So it only makes sense that they would take their time and release the Great Detective Pikachu and the Great Detective Pikachu, and just kind of have like a full-fledged concept of what they want to make, because if they rush this too quickly, it can feel a little bit cheap, and I think Nintendo understands that. I think Game Freak understands that the most, and so like they're gonna take their time, especially like when it comes to the production of like how good the CGI looked on Detective Pikachu. So like they want to take their time, they want to do like what they can to make the story good and make everything come out smooth. As far as who the director is, Jordan Roberts, I cannot pronounce his middle name, but this is the same guy who directed King Kong Skull Island and Knights of Summer, and is supposed to be directing the next Metal Gear Solid. Whenever the hell that comes out, that is in development hell, and I don't expect that to ever come out. But King Kong Skull Island was really good, and his other movies are pretty decent. So this is a proper director who is probably a big game fan and a big, actually I don't think he is. I know that he is a big geek when it comes to video games. So I'm pretty sure he's into it and he would respect the IP appropriately. But like I said, it is unknown if this is canceled or not. And by the way, if you want to see the entire leak of what the Great Detective Pikachu is about, it is there. I'm not gonna read it because again, I value my life and my channel's life, and yeah, Nintendo would probably assassinate me. I'm not too worried for the director. I am worried that this will ever come out, to be honest with you, but like I hope that it does, because this trilogy sounds like something it would be really like something I would want to see. So I hope that it does hit the big screen, and again, I hope they take their time. I hope they do what they do. I like the director. The director more than likely will respect the intellectual property to actually give it the proper respect. So there's more information to this video that I have been making. This is the movie section of like all the leaks that's happening, so I'm gonna just keep adding to it if more news comes on. So there is a anime movie that has been in development since 2021, Codename Power, has been in development in hell since at least 2021, was originally planned to release in 2023. The film has The film was thought of as a reboot of the movie universe to reconnect with lots of fans and try to get more of an adult audience to watch the film, which you can't blame them. Adults are the ones that spend the money. They're the ones that take their kids to see the movie, and they're also the ones that are like, okay, fine, I'll buy these goddamn Pokemon cards for you. It is set in modern Katano, and the main mythical Pokemon of the plot is Mew. Two new protagonists, Light and Akari, male and female. The idea is that the film will touch on modern society problems like cyberbullying and suicide. Directed by Kuban Shizunu, the director of Detective Conan. It is unclear what has happened to it. So it has a really good director. Detective Conan is it's a decent show, but I am guessing the reason why they're taking their time on this anime movie is because Ash is going away and they kind of want to get this right. They want this to be like a reboot of the movie universe in order to get like a whole new fan base, and who knows, maybe they'll kind of lead this into the new anime that they're trying to make. And not to mention that they have a new game coming out soon, Titans, so they don't want to mess this up. They want to get it right. And I think that has been the theme for Game Crazy or Game Freak. They want to get this correct because they just want this passing of the torch to be a smooth transition. And I don't blame them. This has been the theme for all their movies. It's been the theme for Ash's passing. They want to handle that with grace. They wanted to handle the Detective Pikachu and the Great Detective Pikachu and have that done right. And the anime movie, I'm guessing they want to get it right. So whatever Game Freak is doing, I hope that this movie comes out because it sounds like a really good theme, especially because one of my favorite Pokemon is in it, which is Mew. And I hope that they create this, especially with modern graphics and everything that's going on. I'm sure this movie is going to look amazing, especially from some of the concept art that I'm seeing. Again, not posting any of that because I don't want Nintendo to sniper me through my window. So let me know what you think. Started it. Anyhow, let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think that this leak kind of like gives you hope for the Great Detective Pikachu? Does this give you hope for the next anime that's coming out? Let me know what you think in the comment section. And remember, what is sleep? I mean, you're pretty good.